Hi, this is Mr. Martin. I'm going to give you some information on your final assignment for English 102. Now, normally, if we were meeting in person, the final assignment would be you creating a website in which you display all the projects that you've worked on over the semester. However, I feel like that requires a lot of in-person instruction, and it requires probably more time than we have with school closing here soon. So, at least for seniors. So we're just going to wrap things up with this assignment, which is a website analysis. I have up here the actual website analysis guidelines, and I'll just read you the instructions. It says you're going to choose a website that relates to your topic in some way, shape, or form. Specifically, you'll need to discuss the website's homepage in this analysis, but you can refer to other pages on the site as well. You want to address at least 4 of the 6 design elements, and then you're going to address some rhetorical elements, and then you'll have an overall impression section. And if you scroll down here, design elements, you need to write at least 400 words, 100 words at least per element. You go a little further, you're going to talk about audience issues, purpose issues, and then kind of add in your overall impression. It should total at least 800 words. And we will go over some more specifics on this assignment, but that's the gist of it. And first, what we need to do is start off by talking about what are these web design elements. So we're going to go through a little slideshow that I've used in the past to talk about these, and then that should help you in your own analysis here. Of course, we're on the web all the time, but as you look at different websites, what do you like about them? I think I read recently that the most important issue is navigation or user friendliness. Like it's very easy to understand where things are at and how to get to where you want to get to. Key terms that we're going to talk about that can help with that, with user friendliness and navigation, are emphasis, contrast, organization, alignment, proximity, and unity. And I'm going to go through maybe the first 2 in this video, and then I'll do 2 more in the next, and then I'll do 2 more in the next, and then I'll have another video that focuses specifically on the assignment itself. So let's talk about these things, and maybe these are some things that you really haven't thought of as you looked at websites, but I guarantee you the people that designed the websites have thought about them, and my picture is right in the way. Sweet. Let me see what I can do to figure this out. Anyway, first up, let's talk about emphasis. What is the website trying to emphasize? Of course, in speech or writing, I'm trying to move it so I can see it. Emphasis means to give stress to a word or group of words to give it more importance. In the visual text, it means the same thing. So we're talking about the visual mode here. Giving certain elements greater importance. Websites use emphasis to lead the viewer to look at what's the most important first. And so they're often trying to sell a product or create some sort of an impression. And I have several websites here to look at. So we're going to look at McDonald's, State Farm, and the White House, the official White House website. What's being emphasized? What are they really trying to get across to the viewer? So we go to McDonald's first here. And the very first thing here that they want to emphasize is thank you, frontline heroes. Normally McDonald's would probably be trying to emphasize some new product or some new sandwich that they're selling. But of course, with the current situation, they want to look empathetic. They're trying to create an impression of their company. They're a caring company, so they want to thank you to those frontline heroes. Hey, you can stop by during these days for a free thank you meal. You can find out more there. You also see order on Uber Eats. Of course, you can't in most places. I don't think you can actually go into the store, but you can get it delivered, or you can and go through the drive-through. All right, so as we see really not much going on header-wise up here. There is a pull-down menu. You can find the menu, McCafe, some other things like there, locate. All right, as we scroll down, here's McDelivery now. Get all your McDonald's favorites delivered right to your door using Uber Eats or DoorDash. I don't know if we can use that in El Paso. But you can hit that button. So they're really trying to sell. The emphasis right now is, hey, they're still trying to make money and sell food. How can they do it in a way that, is, I guess, safe or employs social distancing? Here, it's an empathetic. They're trying to emphasize this. They're championing communities from coast to coast. They're championing through fast food that will clog your arteries. And they're giving to these healthcare workers. How nice of them. Here are your questions answered. Are the well-being of our people and customers our top priority? So, the emphasis right now on the McDonald's website is definitely the fact that they're a carrying company, and hey, you can still get their food. You don't have to actually go into the restaurant to get the food. There are other ways. You can even have it delivered. And as we go on further, how you can order it through your mobile phone and pay for it, and some other things. I don't see any particular product really being pitched heavily here. So their emphasis is definitely different than what it used to be. And it seems to be a pretty user friendly. I mean, right now, what are you going to want? You're going to want to order it online, or maybe, I guess, see if the McDonald's is open even. I don't know. But you can do that here right at the top. They're pushing that Uber Eats. And then everything else is kind of in their little menu here. So clear emphasis for McDonald's website. As you look at your website, whatever it is, think about what's being emphasized. Let's see what State Farm is up to. Okay. So we've got this. Let's get rid of this. They want to pitch you their app. We don't want that right now. But they're announcing the Good Neighbor Relief Program. What is that? I don't know. Oh, I see. This is it. I just got rid of it. Hey, we're here for you. Again, they're trying to emphasize that they are a caring company. We're all working together to slow the spread of COVID. Because we care about you, we're announcing the Good Neighbor Relief Program, returning $2 billion in dividends to mutual auto policy holders with policies in force from these dates. Learn more about the Good Neighbor Relief Program. Does that mean I'm going to get money back? I don't know. That'd be pretty sweet, though. They of course, they want to make sales. So this is regularly on the State Farm homepage, because I kind of look at this from year to year. They want to get you to kind of start the process of you getting a quote and them getting your information. And then eventually, hopefully, that leads you to buying a policy with them. So, hey, what type of policy do you want to get here? I want a policy on my pet insurance. I'm not actually going to get it. So, yes, we care about you, and we're doing this cool thing for people suffering from the virus. And then put in your information. Let's give you a quote. No login required. They'll get your information. There's kind of this is the new Jake, I guess, from State Farm. You can file a claim. You can track a claim. We're the real deal. We've been here for 100 years, more than just insurance. So they're trying to pitch, I guess, that they are a caring company. They want you to get started with them. If you actually have to make a claim or track a claim, it's a little bit further down. Top priority is, hey, we're here for you. And then you've got some other tabs on the top to find stuff. Oh, look at all that stuff. Okay, so, fairly user-friendly. You can pay a bill online, make a claim there, find an agent. I would say, yeah, that is pretty user-friendly site. Let's do one more. And you could probably guess, what would the White House be emphasizing right now? their coronavirus response. And there you see, it looks like one of Trump's daily briefings there with some of his experts. Here's Pence. But right away, they want to let people know that they are on top of it. They're trying to do what they can. Guidelines for opening up America. Um, this is the 30 days to slow the spread, and I think that that's over at this point. Here's a nice tweet from Mike Pence. There's Trump getting the job done. If I were to sum the emphasis of this page up in one word, I would say it's maybe progress, or like getting things done. It's more than one word, but that's the impression they're trying to make, is that, hey, President Trump is on the job. He's explaining things to the people. He's signing bills. Um, he's signing the historic economic relief into law. I assume that's what this picture is from. It's not a very busy homepage. Like, there's not a lot going on here. That maybe that's just to make for clarity of information. I think if you click on these header tabs, it tells you more about like his specific Trump's specific policies. And you can kind of go down the page and look at different articles. Of course, they're all going to be very pro Trump. So that's a little look at emphasis, and that's kind of like the first thing that hits you on the page. What is the overall impression? What are they trying to sell? What are they trying to convince you of? And it's kind of like boom, right away. If you're looking at a business site, usually it's going to be kind of their latest project. So we're going to talk about one more design element for this video, and that is contrast. And we're talking about web design principles, but really this goes for anything visual, like even the infographics that we made. So what is contrast? Well, contrast refers to the difference between elements on the page, whether they be text, background, buttons, whatever. The difference between those elements so that one element stands out from the other. Size, color, placement, shape, and content are all used to create contrast in a text. And there's this really helpful website that I found. Let's look at this first, and then we're going to look at these shoe company pages. And we'll look at contrast in those pages. We'll kind of just skim through this, though, but it illustrates it really well. These are types of contrast. Of course, there's the color factor. If you're trying to make something stand out, well, then the background's all one color, and what you're trying to really emphasize stands out is a different color. Another type of contrast, along the lines of color here, you need to think about in terms of font on top of background. You don't want it to be too busy. Of course, this is bad contrast because it's tough on the eyes, even as I'm looking at it right now. Here you get a nice soft background and it stands out. It's not as difficult to look at. Size can help to contrast things. Of course, this is bigger than the rest, so it stands out. And the websites use this all the time, especially in terms of making titles bigger than subtitles, and then you got your regular text, right? Because you're trying to kind of emphasize and help organize certain elements so that the reader can understand it better. Space can be used in contrast, and this relates to another element we're going to talk about later called proximity. But one way to make things stand out is to kind of separate it from the rest. And here's, it's using spacing here. Here would be a picture and then a title and a subtitle and the font. Well, by separating this a little bit more, there's more space in here. It adds some emphasis. Of course, different shapes, whether things are in grid boxes and then one thing's in a circle, well, that's going to stand out. So those are just some different things that one can use to create contrast. Let's take a look at contrast in Nike's website. All right. And we can think in terms of emphasis. What's the first thing we see? Introducing the Nike React Miler. So that must be their latest shoe that they want to really pitch. In terms of contrast, the background is white, right? So anything colorful is going to stand out against that. And this is kind of a more of a pale-ish picture. So it's not super bright, but it does stand out. You got kind of the typical Nike font there. We scroll down, they're emphasizing their new products here. It's kind of a basic, easy, smart move to make your background white so that anything in color is going to pop out from this. Here is Coach K, did the Duke coach, and I don't know what he's talking about. You can't stop us because we're Nike. You scroll down and you got this week's picks. Here's some featured stuff. More to explore, stuff for kids. You can become part of the Nike community. It's kind of a black on white, color on white contrast. In terms of size, I mean, this picture is huge. Like, you're not going to go to this website and miss that picture. So they're using some contrast there. Let's check out Reebok's homepage. All right, they are pitching another product called the Nano X that is as versatile as you. Ooh, that's good contrast where you've got action going on in place, on top of kind of a stationary background. That's one aspect of contrast we haven't talked about yet. In terms of emphasis, they want to be a compassionate company. They've got this COVID stuff. With every item purchased over $20, we'll donate an additional $2 to the WHO COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Okay, hey, that makes me feel good. If I order Reebok, it will help other people. Another white background with color on top here. And you go down and you've got the different basic types of shoes that you could wear or order. A lot of this is, to me, this is a more engaging site than Nike, and it's because of these videos. They've got action on a lot of these boxes here. It's definitely more colorful. So I would give Reebok props for having maybe better contrast. Definitely stands out. Let's just take a look at Adidas yet. Maybe. Can't get to the link there. Here we go. All right. Right off the bat, they had, I don't know if you saw that, I clicked off of it right away, but they want you to sign up for something. Hey, they want to emphasize they are having a 30% site-wide sale. Sweet. Not as exciting as Reebok, and I wouldn't say as exciting as Nike. All three of them had kind of the white background, right? Right away, your purchase can help support the COVID-19 response. But they've got different boxes here. Shoes for girls, Ultra Boost 20. Hey, World Earth Day. Oh, they had something on Earth Day, which was yesterday. What's trending? All right, there you go. And then a lot of text here about Adidas. That's unusual for a homepage for a trendy company. All right. So anyway, a lot of color on top of a white background, and you can create contrast by size as well by making something bigger. Of course, the biggest thing font-wise that we see just in this screenshot is that they want you to know that there's a sale, and that's why they make those bigger. So there's a couple design elements we'll discuss more.